welcome back everybody to Nain Short, another installment. This is going to piggyback off our last episode where we were talking about the anti-Asian violence movement that's been going on, because it seems that now that the news coverage isn't covering other things that are on a grander scale. I'm not going to get into the topic of what the news was covering last year. That didn't shine a lot of light on the violence that's going on against the Asian community, because more and more stories are popping up now all of a sudden out of the news, and it's not that it's a rising trend as much as it's been going on this whole time. We just haven't had the coverage for it. And again, like I said last week, Rico has taken upon himself to really spearhead this movement and support it more than anything else, and grow a community of understanding and awareness to protect the elderly. Just recently, there was a story about, I believe, a 65-year-old Filipino woman in New York. And she was being attacked just outside of the doors of a particular building. And instead of helping, it seemed like the security guards in that area just kind of closed the doors and didn't want to be bothered by it. And that really struck a nerve. People didn't want to help. And that just confuses me so much, because we can only do so much. But it also raised a very, very important question: is how much could we teach a 65-year-old woman who may not be in the best of health how to protect themselves? And I'm a little lost in reference to what can we do that's going to actually be beneficial at that point. So I'd like to get Rick's opinion on this, because he definitely has a bit more insight in reference to that. Now,
hey everybody,
this story, right? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. I just heard this the other day, and we were talking about it with friends and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the story goes that in New York, a 65-year-old lady who actually happens to be like a pastor or something in a church. She was on her way to church.
Oh wow!
And she gets beat up in front of I think it was a hotel, and the security people there just kind of closed the door on her, and that didn't even bother to try to get out and help out or whatever else. And that, me, I was pissed, folks. Sorry,
Yeah,
I was just really angry about it. I was like, this is ridiculous. But it also got me to thinking: is teaching some techniques to these elderly who may or may not be able to do these techniques, especially in a panic state where they're freaked out, nervous,
without
afraid,
continuous training.
Would they be able to do these things?
That is the question.
I saw some videos of other groups trying to teach the elderly, and sure, for those people, that's great that they're doing that.
Right.
But what I noticed is that they're teaching these elderly to do these things. They got them in a bear hug, and they're saying, raise your hand and do these things. But what I saw was that the people that are doing the bear hugs were letting it go, being compliant to whatever the techniques were. But is that what's going to happen in the streets?
So it just begs the question: would it actually work, or is it just kind of giving them a false sense of security?
Yeah, false sense of security in the sense that if you're holding on to me, you're letting go. You're letting me. So now I feel, good. Wow, look what I did.
Right.
Wow, I got out of that.
You bring up a really good point, because I've joined you in the rape prevention classes that you've taught and then passed on to our female student Risa, and you always told us, you hold on until they do enough to let go.
Right.
But is that feasible for somebody who's elderly?
Who obviously can't do it. You'll be holding on all day.
Right.
You'll be there on a 2-hour seminar. You're holding her all day
for 2 hours
because she can't get out of it.
Well, maybe she likes being her hand held.
Yeah. So you have to look at that and understand: are we doing the right thing by teaching these elderlies who may or may not be able to do these things? And if they can, great. But you have to look at that and say, okay.
There are some fit older people out there.
Granted. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. We have to look at that and really evaluate the individuals to what they can and can't do, and cater the lessons and the teachings to that.
Okay.
Now,
so
the other people, the other people I would like to then focus on are the people that are with the elderly. Because what is the main thing that we always say? Go out in pairs. Go out in a group.
Right.
Right? So if you have an elderly person and they call somebody and say, hey, can you come out because I want to go to the store? Well, then who should we be teaching? The person she called.
Yeah.
You know, the
Extended
daughter,
family,
the
daughter,
brother,
brother-in-law,
or
sister-in-law.
healthcare,
Right.
whoever.
Yeah, a lot of them do have AIDS.
Right. So
live-in nurses
let's
and
get
such.
those people inoculated to teach or to learn these things,
Right.
so that they don't have to even get physical. Oh, they have a phone. Hey, it looks like we're going to have some problems.
Right.
This guy's coming up on us. Help, help, help. You know, and because they're in pairs, they're most likely going to get left alone because they're not by themselves. I mean, shame on you to the families who are allowing your 85, 60, 75-year-old.
I know they're stubborn, and I know
Yeah.
they're very independent, and I get that part of the culture is very, very rooted in that
Yeah.
independence, but it's not safe.
Not right now.
Not right now. And maybe, and here's the thing that I've noticed and it's bothered me is that it really is only getting more news coverage now because there isn't anything else to cover.
Right. Yeah. The the election's done. The virus, we got vaccination for the virus.
So
It's the only thing to talk about.
and that's the point. So,
Right.
but you bring up a great topic in that who it is that really needs to learn this, and sadly, some people are too old to learn this,
Right.
and maybe too proud or too stubborn. But the
Yeah.
people
That
below
are-
them,
That are
next
with
to
them,
them,
that are caring for them.
yeah. So those are the people we want to reach out, and those are the people that we hope will pass this message along to each
Right.
other. Not only that, but even the community groups that, like Leanna Louis' group.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a seminar for them.
United Peace Collaborative.
Collaborative. I keep saying coalition.
No, it's collaborative.
Collaborative.
And we love you, Leanna. Don't forget that. You are awesome.
But she's the group that's going around patrolling.
Yeah, and they're younger,
Chinatown
and
in
they
San
can
Francisco.
actually, and they're healthy enough to do that. These are the people that we want to train
Right.
and show, so that when they're with an elderly, they can very much protect them.
And they're comfortable because the big part about it, and this is what we want to stress more than anything in these seminars, is that it's less about the physicality and more about your mindset. If you're in a panic, it doesn't matter how great you are at the physical stuff, it's not going to work.
That's right.
But if you can stay calm and relaxed because you understand what's going on,
Right.
then it's a lot better. For me, my studies and my personal growth, being these Nain shorts, isn't about the physical stuff. It's always been the mental and understanding violence. I don't study martial arts so I can learn how to hurt people. I study it so I can learn to recognize it before it gets to a point where I'd have to defend myself. And that's the point we want to get across, especially to the younger generation that's going to grow into the older generation later on. Right now, the older generation needs that immediately, but this isn't something that's just going to go away, folks.
Yeah, this is here for a while. You know.
And it has
It's
to.
it's been going on forever as well.
It has.
You know,
And-
Leanna spoke about in the 1800s with the
Oh,
railroad
the biggest
thing.
lynching
Yeah, the
that
biggest
happened in
lynching.
America
So-
was against the Asian
The
community.
And so we know what this is. You know, it's your typical just attacks that they feel that the Asians are a lower class.
And right now, it's the excuse is maybe the virus,
Yeah.
but really, any
It's not.
excuse will do for any sort of
Any
predatory
excuse.
mentality.
Right. And that's the sad part. I mean, like I said, you know, I was upset with myself because I was looking at it through a different pair of glasses until I told you, hey, we need to reevaluate what we're actually looking at.
And that's what
Because-
it's about. Take the time to really consider what's out there and what is the best course of action.
Right.
It's not to learn how to hurt people. It's not to get a gun and start carrying around.
Yeah, it's about avoidance, being aware.
Smarter.
Right. You know, folks, we recommend, you know, like we are in the process of putting together a pamphlet that's going to describe all the things you can do as far as reaching out to the local PDs
PD,
and community centers, and they're going to have all kinds of stuff, that literature that you can read and learn, and you know, like Nain says, to recognize
Right.
certain things so that you're not walking into any danger, so that you can keep yourself safe. And if you are a caretaker, how to keep your ward safe throughout that time that you're with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Nain says, it's not about learning how to fight so much as it is learning how to keep away from that fight.
Yeah, avoiding it altogether if at all possible. But if not, how to respond in a calm manner.
Right.
Because that panic is going to get you. It gets all of us. But the quicker you can overcome that panic state, the sharper your brain will be, and the better choices you're going to make in describing the individual, getting
Right.
information, license plate, or whatever the case may be that's going to help get this person behind bars where they belong.
Yeah, if you have a cell phone, understand how to use that properly in taking a picture, or you know, anything you can do to get more information to the police department,
Anything.
that's going to get that one individual off the streets.
And that's one less person to have to worry about.
You know, thankfully, the incident in New York, the next day they found the guy and they
They
arrested him. Yeah, he's been arrested.
Oh, okay.
So that's a cool thing. But again, it was because of the surveillances. You know, they had cameras outside of that place that it happened. So they knew what the guy looked like, and they tracked him down.
But that it had to get to that point, though.
Right.
That's...
You know, those people that were right there in front of it watching, jump in. Folks, if you're not going to be the solution, don't be part of the problem.
And
You know?
sadly, staying quiet in moments like that is being part of the problem.
Yeah, you
even if
become-
it's just, hey, stop that.
Yeah, yelling.
At least you're doing something. You're
Startle
not
the guy to run off.
putting hands, throw a can. It's not going to hurt anybody if it hurts it, but if it hits them. But it's,
You know,
it's distracting.
folks, and when I was a little kid and I was picking on my little sister, my mom would throw something at me and I would stop. You know, it's called chanelas, right? She'd throw something at me, like, oh shit, okay, fine, and I would stop. You know, do something, folks. Don't just sit there, stand and watch what's going on.
It's silly, but honestly, it could be that simple to
Yeah,
help
distract
somebody out.
the guy.
That's all it
Get
is.
him worried that you're going to come down
And those are the things we're going to talk about. Is
Right.
really, if that happens, beyond the physical stuff that you can get to or do to get away, what are the things that you can do, even as a group, where you're not being physical, you're not being
Right.
violent against the individual, but hey, stop it. Hey, stop it.
yeah.
That might be enough to take the attention away from the person they're attacking and get them to think, oh, wait. Now imagine 4 or 5 people poking this guy, distracting them, while
Right.
somebody else drags the victim away. Meanwhile, there's cameras.
Not drag, pulls him away.
Pulls them safely, sorry. I'm going, my mind went to the extreme and like, oh, this person has a broken leg, we're going to have to drag them out. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That was too extreme. But things like that, which we
Right.
don't think about, which
Not at all.
we don't want to be aggressive, but hey, stop it.
You know, the other part of that aggression, folks, if you get carried away, then you become a suspect in that whole incident.
You're now
You overstepped your boundaries, you became the aggressor, then you could possibly go to jail for that.
Right.
So, you know, understanding where you are at all times
And we get
means both sides of the law, folks. You know,
Yet more information that you should probably reach out to your local PD for. Like I
Right.
said, like he said, we're gonna try to put stuff together, but it can only go so far. It's upon you, the people, to take those steps, and they're small steps.
yes.
It isn't a matter of having to give up your whole day to go to a class or a seminar. Take a couple minutes, research, call somebody, look for information, and believe it or not, you will find it. And if you just do that one day at a time, then we can start building more awareness as a community, come together and protect the people that need it the most. And
Right.
that's all we ask of you guys right now. So please share this, pass it around as much as possible, whomever you know or think that will need it, anyone, whatever it is, just do something. All it takes is a click. You're on your phone anyways.
Right.
It's in your hand most of the day.
Folks, and rest assured, there are a lot of martial arts schools all over the Bay Area
Yes.
who are willing to open their doors and help out by giving you great ideas and wonderful techniques. And again, you have to pick up your phone. You have to look them up. We are going to be posting some on this particular video. We have guys from Santa Clara. We have people in Pleasanton.
Yeah.
There are some people out in Vallejo, here in San Francisco. We actually have a course that we're going to be doing April 18th in Chinatown. So if you want to join us, feel free to come on down. We will have more information at the end of the video. We'll put it on here. Again, be safe out there, folks. It's a crazy world right now.
Be safe and keep each other safe more than anything else.
Yes, that is the big thing.
Yeah, well, it takes a community, and
Yeah.
right now it doesn't feel like we are one. We could do so much better.
So much better. So Thanks for having me on
No,
your
no,
show.
no. Thank you very much. And like I said, folks, it doesn't take much to get the word out and spread the word. And right now, that's where we are, and that's where we should be until it becomes such a regular thing, such a natural thing for people to help each other out. And there are jerks out there, and they're not necessarily the aggressors, but they're definitely not helping, and they're in the way. And if we can change one of those person's minds, then maybe we can grow even more. That's all we're trying to do, is get this out there. For now, thank you very much for joining me here. You're already doing your part by listening to this entire video or watching this entire video. Again, this is Nain with Nain Shorts. Thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. 3, 2, 1, cut!